As a speaking coach, of course, naturally get asked a lot if I've ever done a TEDx talk. And usually I hem and haw. I'm like, well, kind of, sort of, not really. But I did. I did a TEDx talk at a small TEDx women's group in Orlando. This was back in October of 2016, a month before the most shocking presidential election that we've had, at least in our lifetime. I'm a Democratic political analyst on TV news. I have been since 2005. So 2016 was a very busy year. I would get called to the TV studio several times a week to comment on whatever was going on in the presidential election race. And of course, there was always something going on pretty much every day of the week. So by the time a friend of mine asked me to do a TEDx talk, I said yes, and she really wanted me to talk about politics. Now, TED doesn't really like their speakers that talk about politics, so I kind of knew this wasn't going to end up on the TED.com homepage, but really wanted to talk about it. Because like most women in this country, we saw what was going on that year. The sexism, the misogyny, the backlash from the patriarchy of women wanting to assume political power, especially the highest office in the land. So as I was working on this talk, I was really excited. I remember it was a Friday night. I was sitting at my computer, because of course, what else would I be doing on a Friday night as a speaking coach, but working on a TEDx talk. And I was kind of struggling, like I was doing a lot of research about women and power and statistics and how many women are elected to Congress. And by the way, it's only about 25%. So very, very far short of our 51% of the population. But it wasn't really gelling. So I just kind of sat back from my computer desk, and I just kind of like closed my eyes and looked up, like waiting for the download from the universe, which has never happened. But it happened. All of a sudden, like the light bulbs went off, and I started furiously typing, and this incredible story and script just poured out of me. And it's been since 2016 since I delivered that talk, but I remember the beginning was these comments like, oh, I like her, I'd be fine with a woman president, but just not her, and all these things. And the final comment in that first section was, she's a man-eater. And these were quotes from men in newspaper articles about Hillary Clinton clearly running for president of the United States. She's a man-eater? Where does this stuff come from? So I wrote this whole script about everything from Medusa and the sirens and how much we fear powerful women because we fear that they're going to cause destruction. Like, where did that come from? We are the creators of life. We keep everything together. Yet the patriarchy has decided that women in power are destructive. So I said all these things from myths and from TV shows. So it was great. I practiced it in my car almost every day, and it was all fluid. I knew every single line, 8-minute talk. So I get there to the event. It's about 50 women, most of the women I knew, and I was happy to see my friends and my colleagues. So we go off to the side of a different room, and they're getting ready to mic us up. And I'll get nervous before a speaking engagement, the little butterflies, but it's fun. It kind of shows that you care and your adrenaline is pumping. But this was different. It was really clammy. Like my skin was clammy. Like just my body felt really weird. I never had felt like this before. And so I'm talking to myself, like, Carol, it's fine. Like, you know your script. These are your friends out here. It's all women. I was like, well, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just you'll get over it. Just drink some water. You'll be fine. So we get ready to go up. I'm probably the third or fourth speaker. So I get up. I start my talk. I know every line. And about maybe 45 seconds, a minute into it, my mouth gets really dry. So dry, I have no saliva left. It's never happened to me ever. Not on TV, not on live TV, not at any speaking engagements, even with hundreds of people in the audience. And all of a sudden, I get to the point where literally I could not speak anymore. I was petrified. I'm the speaking coach, and I'm sitting here, and I literally can't even say another word. So all these things running through my mind, like, I need water, I can't. So I stop, I go over to the side where my water bottle is, I drink some water, I come back, and then I just pick up where I left off. Of course, I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. Like, why did this happen? And for so long, the story I told myself was that I had put such high expectations of myself as a speaking coach to be perfect, to show up perfectly to the people in the audience, because that's what they would expect of me. Of course, they didn't. This was my own imagination. But recently, I had another story come to mind. Yes, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I wanted to do a great job. It was an important story I wanted to tell about why we're afraid of women in power. But I realized that of all the ironies, I lost my voice at the very moment I was challenging the patriarchy and their desire to keep women down. I actually fell victim to it in that very moment where I could literally no longer speak. So now I've realized since then, since 2016, where I have developed further confidence in my voice and my ability to say the things that need to be said, to challenge truth to power, to challenge the status quo, to speak truth to power. And never again will I let the weight of the patriarchy take my voice. Thank you.